The events of 1916 are in themselves a great story. There's the drama, there's the whole aspect of revolution. That is a story which lends itself to a dramatic retelling.
1916 Rising was a revolution, it was rebellion. We're not the only country that has a revolutionary past as a core element in our history. Let's acknowledge that, let's not apologise for it, let's not get overly ashamed by it. Let's examine what that means.
Even today, I think it's still divisive, and I think the projects that are being coordinated now as part of the national celebrations hopefully will overcome that divisiveness.
I think the ceremonial aspect is very important, and it's even more important that it be done properly. But this is where the state speaks on behalf of all of us and pays its tribute on our behalf.
In 1916, the National Library was a real hub for all kinds of activity. Feminism, socialism, revolutionaries came through our doors. So we're really interested in being at the heart of what's happening in 2016 as well. We've been involved in really big digitisation projects. We have some of the papers that tell the stories of the 7 signatories of the Rising, for example. When you delve into those archives, you find that they become people as opposed to just ideas.
It is very important that we participate strongly in the centenary events, informing debate, informing discourse in a way that is lively, educational and adds insight.
By mid-March of 2016, we're launching our 1916 Easter Week Remembered exhibition, which focuses on our Easter Week collection, which we've amalgamated since the 1930s here in the National Museum.
In the archives we have lots of material bearing on the decade of centenaries, and we're anxious to get it out there to the public and let them have a look at it.
So what we want to do is to pull together the amazing objects in the cultural institutions that really tell the story of 1916, objects that the people of Ireland and the diaspora want to share, and weave those together to make different perspectives, different stories, really make a national version of 1916 that should be interesting for our people here, but our diaspora across the world as well.
Yeah, we're going to organise a number of conferences in the university. Our historians, our people, our colleagues in literature, in culture, in theatre, and we will use those conferences to understand what happened in the past in order to help us to shape a better future.
Caian réige bheith lárnach go mór an ideag séideag. Gan an réige agus gan glúiseach na réige ní bheith éireamach an. Ó seachtar a híní forógra na poblachta bhí séisir in a bhíl don chunra. Léiríonn sé sin an bhisneach agus an chrógacht a thug sé roimh, agus an deis a thug sé roimh smaoinemh go neamhsplach.
We plan to kick the year off with a very large-scale drama, 5-part drama called Generation. This is one of those kind of legacy projects. It's a national project. It's a project that will be here for years to come. It's one that I'm tremendously excited about, and one that I hope will get the country talking early in the year and then spring on to the live events later in the year.
2 major initiatives for schools are an Ancestry Project, which asks students to trace their family's roots or another family's roots back to 1916. We also have Proclamation Day, which is going to take place on the 15th of March 2016, and this is a really exciting opportunity because it's the first time that every educational institution in the country will be asked to put time aside to focus on a specific event. So this is groundbreaking.
One of the projects that's been done for next year is to get all the schools in the country to write their own proclamation. So what would inspire the youth of today as those leaders of the revolution were inspired in 1916? And in the Stained Art Commission that we're doing for UCD, we're trying to reflect the aspirations and the inspiration that came out of the proclamation.
So our programme as part of 2016 is really about stimulating the public imagination. We want to create the wow effect so that people remember what was created in 2016 to mark the centenary of the Easter Rising. All of those that were the signatories of the proclamation were also artists. So they were looking for an alternative way, an alternative voice and an alternative Ireland. And that's what artists are still doing to this day, 100 years later.
Bunaíoch áchan na man seo os cion céad déimlíon hen, agus bhí mar páirteach glúiseacht a bheochan cultúr agus litríochta, agus bhí mar páirteach randfáirteach in éireamach na cásca. Go dainn bhí cuid dar oireann hénig, aisteoirí agus baineoiseach státe agus cuid oireann páirteach in éireamach na cásca hénig ina measc Sean Connolly agus Marnie Hewrig. So man de súil go mór leis an ceiliúra agus an comóra fé sé déag ach go háirithe na dramadóirí, na scríneoirí agus cuns go féidir son in nuacha dhéanamh ar éireacht 1916.
Our biggest project for 2016 is a series of 7 concerts immediately after Easter, so running from Easter Monday to the following Sunday, reflecting the 7 nights, 7 days of the original Rising.
Be clár cuimhneáin cuimseach ag an ggóiltas fud na tíre agus thar lear freisin. Be ggócádaí siúla gaoine ngach chundé ag na phleanna chundé agus comá ag na phleanna chuige. Agus dar nói phleaceol na hÉireann beag se siúla siún in inis chun den chlár agus be chlár speisialta an sin comá.
All the local authorities are getting involved directly with a number of programmes through the library service, the art service, the heritage officers, the county archivists and so on. We have community and enterprise sections. So there is an awful lot of direct contact with the local community, and the local authorities are best placed really to make sure there is animation and ownership at local level.
An bhliain se thug in 2016, baimid ag reachtáil argamórta sin an príomh rud a dhéanann cumann luach le scéal, ach go maith sin, baimid ag fearcan siar ar na stair na rudaí a tharla sa bhliain 1916, agus an tionchar a bhí go háirithe ag an Éire amach na Cásca ar stair cumann luach le scéal, agus ar stair na hÉireann, stair an stáit a bhuniú tar éis an Éire amach.
Well, all communities will have their own stories. You'll have people who have relatives who've been involved in 1960, and it's about bringing those stories to life. It's about telling those stories, and it's about engaging all the communities in that process. So a lot of different counties will have reenactments of events that took place.
So there's a whole mosaic of stories to be webbed together in one great panoramic tale, and it's not a question of judging, it's a question of telling, recounting, analysing.